Episode 9 is set to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing in this movie is exactly what kind of twists and turns J.J. Abrams will use in this film that's going to change our view on the entire Skywalker saga and the Force itself. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with the Knights of Ren and the Beyond in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that the Beyond will play a major role in the second and third acts of the film that will serve as a way to move the plot forward. It's described that the Beyond is a location that holds the origins of the dark side of the Force, and that it's described that fans will learn about the Beyond through dialogue from the Knights of Ren. It said one plot element that JJ inserted was the Knights were away during the events of Episodes 7 and 8 to learn everything there is about the Beyond, and it said that the Knights have been gone for around 1 year. The Beyond is also said to change how fans see the dark side of the Force in the Skywalker saga within the Star Wars franchise. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this and as to why I'm really looking forward to learning more about the Beyond. Now, like I have said before in the past, I believe that the Beyond is either A, going to be the unknown regions, or B, is going to be a different dimension or a different realm, if you will, within the actual Star Wars universe. So one thing is very interesting here is that J.J. Abrams is setting up a very interesting story for the Knights of Ren, giving us a reason as to why we did not see the Knights in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi in present time, and that's because the Knights of Ren were away, actually adventuring into the Beyond and learning all about the origins of the dark side of the Force. And that's when they learn about the new threat that comes their way in Episode 9. So basically the Knights of Ren are going to report back to Kylo Ren, tell them everything they know, or tell him everything that they know about the Beyond and what it's capable of and exactly what lies over there. So you could really see what J.J. Abrams is trying to do. Now, this whole entire aspect of Episode 9 is going to change fans' view of the dark side of the Force. Now, is this a risky move by Disney and Lucasfilm by changing our views of the dark side? Now, to me, I think that it could be a risk because, you know, if you look at the dark side, you just view it as the dark side, right? You have the dark and the light. There's nothing more to it than that in the films, at least. Well, what JJ wants to explore is he really wants to go in depth when it comes to the concept of the dark side of the Force and exactly what it means and exactly what it holds over in the Beyond. So like I say, the Beyond is really going to play a big role in this movie, and I cannot wait to see exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to handle all of the different twists and turns that will come along with it. Now, what is really intriguing, though, about the Beyond is you guys may recall the acolytes of the Beyond being a part in some of the books and the novels related to the Star Wars franchise under the Disney canon. Now, the acolytes of the Beyond are actually worshippers of the dark side and, of course, of Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. Now, there's reason to believe that the Acolytes have actually gone to the Beyond before, and perhaps maybe the Acolytes are, you know, going to be in this movie. We're not quite sure about that just yet. But when we look at Star Wars as a whole, guys, you can see how J.J. Abrams is trying to change the whole entire concept of the Force, making us understand the dark side on a whole nother level that's actually going to be presented to us in a visual way. So essentially, we're going to learn about the dark side in a visual way than how it is done through words from like a Jedi or a Sith Lord, etc. So that's the thing that's going on here with the Beyond. Now, we do know that the new villain in this film is actually associated with the Beyond in Episode 9. Now, like I say, this movie does have a lot going for it, and it's really going to change how we view the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself. And also, let me know what you think about J.J. Abrams and his approach to Star Wars Episode 9. Do you think that it really is a big deal that he's going to change the Skywalker saga, the sequel trilogy, and everything related to the dark side and the light side of the Force? Is this a bad or a good idea by Disney, Lucasfilm, JJ, and crew? We do know that they are using Episode 9 as a course correction and are doing everything possible in order to make this movie stand out and be the best of the sequel trilogy. And that's their aim right now. They're really trying to make this movie the best of the sequel trilogy because this really is going to be a historical film. Let's not forget that this is going to be the end of the Skywalker saga. I mean, this is something 30 years in the making, 30-some years in the making now. going into this movie, and it's really going to be a big deal. So if J.J. Abrams really wants to get this right, if he is indeed, doing all these different changes to the Force and the dark side through the use of the Beyond, you gotta do it right, and it does have to have a lot of purpose and meaning behind it all, to the point where you can actually, get an idea of what's really going on. Now, additionally, the Beyond is also going to open up more possibilities of future Star Wars projects like films and TV shows, as well as books and novels. So that leads me to believe yet again that this is indeed going to be the unknown regions. That's just my guess of what the Beyond really is. The Beyond, it sounds more and more like it is, yes, going to be a region of the galaxy as opposed to another dimension, but who knows, right? From what we can see with J.J. Abrams, he loves flash forwards, he loves flashbacks, time travel, different dimensions, so I wouldn't be too surprised if the Beyond does end up being a different dimension or a different realm, if you will. So with that being said, guys, what do you think about all of this below in the comments? And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.